So today, we're taking a peek at this. This is the Bryton S510 cycle computer. Now they do offer two versions of this, the E series and the T series. This is the E series, so it just comes with the cycle computer. The T series essentially has sensors and stuff that would go on your bike as well. But today we're gonna do a setup video on this, get this out of the box, take a peek at it, get it turned on, see what's up with it, see all the neat features about it. And then later I'll come back with an actual review after having time on the bike with it. So without further ado, let's tear into this guy. Hey folks, and welcome back to BikeGeeks, and it's been a little while since I've actually done a video, especially a video on a cycle computer, so I'm actually really excited to see this guy. This is the new Bryton S510. It's got a 2.8-inch color screen on it, and the nice thing about it is it's kind of a throw it on the bike and you can just go with it. You don't have to do any pre-designed routes or anything like that. It's got a lot of features built into it. It's got climb challenges built into it, climb insights with pre-loaded routes, or it can predict an upcoming climb and provide a smart climb and smart complete notification for you automatically, just based on basically the route that you're going on the data available to it. It's got full navigation input with turn-by-turn guidance, turn-by-turn back to the start of your ride, so it just can, shoot back to it. Also back to so if you were to have a route and you get off of that route, it'll guide you back onto that route the fastest and safest way possible. Does have a retrace feature where you can actually trace back your steps that you took to get back to the start, and even has voice search built into it, so you can actually talk to the thing and check it out that way. So a lot of those features we're going to get to, I guess, after I get some time on the bike with it, but in this case, let's get it out of the box. Let's see how it mounts on the bike and such. All right, there we go. So it is a fairly compact model. You can see it's just got the standard Bryton mount on it. This is, I think, the third Bryton cycle computer that I've ever actually had. I was sent one a while back, years ago, and did a video on it. I've had another one, and yeah. So let's see what comes in here. USB cable, tether, and of course instructions and QR codes to get that app. So obviously just USB-C to USB-A for the cable. It does have a 90-degree on it. Probably a reason for that, but USB port right on the bottom. So there it is. 30-hour battery life on this, so it's not something that you're gonna have to obviously charge on the go so much unless you're doing multiple day ride, where you're not, you're gonna be stopping in between to charge it. So in here, we have the easy way to mount it, essentially. You just have the piece that goes on the handlebar, and then you have various rubber bands that will fasten that to the handlebar, and of course different size bands. And then there is a rubber piece that goes on the back, so you can see the one that comes on it is thinner and this is thicker, so you can pop that out, change it for this size as well. Adds a little bit of depth to it, a little bit more standoff. You could also obviously put it on the stem versus the handlebar, so just gives you all tons of opportunities with those bands. And then of course there is the tether, I guess. And do they have a? Yep, they do have a quick spot right there on the cycle computer itself for the tether. All right, let me see about this. Now, one thing before we turn it on is on the back side is where the actual mount, obviously, of the cycle computer itself that actually does fasten itself to the bike part. Now, they do offer an out front mount that's an aluminum, actually a little bit nicer. In this case, I only have the one that comes in the box, but there is that. But you can also, cycle that out. So this is the standard Bryton mount in a bag over here. A couple other, which I will say is replaceable. So if it was to break or something, so there is, a couple different plates that you can get for it, but it's just 4 screws, and then that plate pops off, and then you can replace it if necessary. Okay, so let's get this guy on. So first of all, there are 4 buttons here, 2 on each side. On this side, we have the record pause, and then a menu or a page button, I guess. A lap record button down here, and then the power button. It's also, it looks like there's a lock on it, so it's a lock button too. So I'm gonna go ahead and push and hold the power button, and on the screen comes. and so we can see the menu. Maybe I can get a little better angle. Okay, so it looks like we choose our language, so I'm going to choose English and hit the... We're going to do miles and pounds, and now it's asking me to get the Bryton app, so let me grab that quick. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the Bryton app, and I already have a Bryton account, so I can log in. Otherwise, here is where you could create a new account. I'm going to log in quick, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm logged in here to power on the device. That's good. And customize. Okay, we can skip all this stuff. And it looks like here's some information from the last time I actually used a Bryton device, which has been a few years. Okay, so on the bottom right, we're going to hit the gear icon. I'm going to hit Add New Device here. And Allow. And hit Add New Device. Oh, there's seeing the Rider S510. Let's pair it. Okay. Allow. Device pair failed. Interesting. Maybe it's because I'm on this. Okay, let's go to this screen. Let's go. All right, so we're on that. Let's try this again. All right, maybe it was because I was still on that front screen, but that time it went just right. So 70% battery, actually, that's out of the box. I didn't do anything with it yet. Stay up to date about updates. Oh, there isn't an update available. Let's download it via Bluetooth and let it do its thing wirelessly. I'll be back once this is actually complete. Okay, so it took a few minutes, probably 4 or 5 minutes to fully download and install. It's done there. And now we're on the actual screen. You can see all the information here. Obviously on here, this is going to be your account. Depending on the ride you do, it's going to, you can change. Oh, look at that. It actually went off of Imperial for me. But either way, all the information. If you have sensors that you want to add into this is where you would do it, or see all that information all in here on the phone. But for that matter, let's get off of the phone. Let's take a peek at this. So before we go any further, let's look at the settings. All right, there's display settings, there's brightness settings, auto brightness. Let's bring it up so you can see it easier. It's just, obviously with the camera, it's always a little bit different. So now it's a lot brighter. And of course, depending on the road conditions you're on, is how bright you want. But the auto brightness is nice. So it automatically adjusts and saves battery life as well. But for this video purposes, we want to make sure you can see the screen fine. There we go. So it's just giving me a tutorial. All right, I like to look and find out myself. All right, so from the main screen, when you boot up, you can kind of go cycle through your bikes, and you can obviously change the bike information as well. So go into bike settings. But if you have a road bike, an indoor bike, mountain bike, whatever have you, and then once you select the bike, then it goes into the actual details on, how fast you're going, distance, and all that stuff. Then we can actually see the map, and we can kind of just swipe in between those two screens. And then you can kind of do one that has a pairing of both, right? So a small map with the information. And essentially, I think you just cycle through those three. So depending on what kind of information you like to see while you're riding, that's pretty straightforward. And that's a nice little combo. So while I was off recording, I did get a couple text messages on my phone, which pop up immediately on the device here. It gives a little beep, and then you can read your text message, which is awesome because obviously it's paired to your phone. That's how it has that internet access, and everything is through that Bluetooth connection with your phone. Obviously, it works fine without that connection. It'll work fully without it, but if you want to have internet data, things like that, the voice search is going to be something that you'll have to have your phone to do. So that there is that. So we went through up here. That's the item. If we hit navigation, it'll actually just go straight to a map. Unable to acquire position. Of course, it's in my basement. So if you did, then you'd be able to see where you are, pinpoint search, things like that. You could obviously do the voice search in here as well. So yep, it's going to keep erroring out courses. So this is where you can create routes. And create a quick route. And so yeah, right now we don't have a route, but that's where you'd be able to do that. So that's the gist of the S510. Now before we finish the review, we have to mount it on the bike. That's just something we have to do. And I'm going to go on the stem here. Eventually I'd like to get an adapter for my Barfly adapter plate so I can actually just throw it on there. But that said, see how this mounts on the stem. There's one, and we're just going to crisscross them. And like that. Now we are mounted. I did it 90 degrees wrong. Okay. Now we just put it in there, turn, and we're good to go. Now, right now, I actually have the thicker pad underneath there, and I just thought the thicker pad just because of those raised surfaces. But in all reality, I think I'd have been able to just get by with the other one just fine. And so there it is. There's my cycle computer all ready to roll. Now, in all reality, really easy to set up, really easy to get going. Obviously, the app is they're just gonna sync together. I am interested to find out how well it actually works when I'm actually doing the GPS, how well the voice actually works, and of course, how well does the voice function work when I'm not at home. Oh, I just got another text alert from my phone. And so that's what that little sound is. Obviously, I'm going to have some time and actually spend some time with this, so it's going to be a few weeks before I actually have my full review, because in all reality, you can't have a full review of this with just like one single ride. You got to go to multiple. You got to have an idea of how much or how you like it. The other Bryton cycle computers that I've done in the past, I was impressed with. I obviously wanted something was a little bit better screen, specifically for the map. This seems like it's a much better screen than the older ones, and of course, that's how technology goes. So I'm looking forward to testing this out. This is the Bryton S510. Like I said, they do have the two different versions. This is the E series, or E box, so the S510E, which is just the cycle computer, and then they have the S510T that comes with the cadence sensors and things like that. That's about 80 bucks more. This guy retails at $249. I will put links to not only Bryton's website, where you can find all the information out on this guy as well, but any affiliate links that I may have that you can check this out on Amazon or whatever. So Bryton, thank you for sending this over. I'm actually looking forward to testing this one out. I haven't used my older Bryton one for a little while. I've been focusing on using my phone, mainly because I do a lot of reviews for my phone. So it's nice to go back to a cycle computer, so you're not constantly having to have your phone out and stuff. And that's what I actually miss. I miss actually having this always available, always on the handlebars, because this would go in my bag. I wouldn't actually have this out. And that's the nice thing about cycle computers. They just give you all the information you want at a moment's notice without worrying about opening up an app or anything like that. So, thanks for checking this out. Thanks for watching to the end. I will have a full review soon, but that is the Bryton S510 setup and unboxing and first looks. Thanks a lot for stopping by. We'll catch you back here on BikeGeeks for another future video. See you soon.